think Sven is just a little bit overrated. I mean, it's hard to argue. He went 21-6 at Birmingham, and he was the second most picked hero at that event. I still just feel like there's so many games right now where just Sven gets kited and he comes online too slowly.
I think the hero is really good when it is drafted correctly into the lineup. So what we saw earlier today is an example of what happens when you pick Sven in a very greedy position, when you play him together with Templar Assassin. I think this hero needs time and space and a lineup that can fight for him for a while he gets really big, and then can fight with him when he is. And those two things don't necessarily go hand in hand. You can have heroes that space make and then fall off when Sven is strong. So you kind of want to draft this kind of lineup. Grimstroke is a great example of a hero you want to play with him. He's nice and active early on, can fight. And once Sven comes online, he loves playing with Grimstroke. Double Stormhammer in team fights to give you 2 targets. It's way harder to kite you. They're locked in place as well, can't blink away or force or anything. A nice pairing here. I think the hero's great, honestly. I'm a big Sven fan, and even after the nerfs, I still think he's very solid. You just need to pick around it correctly.
I want to jump back to something Haas said really quickly here, because a lot of people know this. I'm not a very big math guy. So you said it was Chen and Io, right? 4% and 5% respectively that they've dropped down in win rate. Yeah. So how statistically significant is that? Like, you can throw numbers around. Sometimes they just seem like they're fillers.
It's pretty significant, because one of the things that you see, one of the really nice things about Dota data is that there tend to be a lot of games right around patch releases. So you get, obviously, things do change over time as people figure out heroes and figure out builds, but you can make conclusions fairly quickly on, at least given what we know right now, because the number of games is so large.
Okay. To give you an example, basically Chen in the previous patch before this one, when he got buffed in 722, he went from, I think, a 35% win rate, which is extremely low in the Divine bracket, to 50.
Chen was, this is the only time I think in looking at Dota data for like 3 or 4 years, it is the only time I've seen Chen over 50% win rate in pubs.
Yeah. And that's not because the hero isn't good enough to win every second game. It's because the way the hero plays requires a certain structure and strategy that is very difficult to apply in public games. So when a hero reaches that kind of win rate, it makes a big difference. Now, obviously, if you take a hero and you change it and his win rate goes from that 50 to, say, 45, that's still pretty indicative of something that can translate into pro games. Especially the way the hero was nerfed is actually very important for the strengths that teams have been drawing from him in the previous patch.
Yeah,
so
I mean, but just between the full minute cooldown on the recall, which we had seen the top teams like Liquid picking Chen and using that recall like 5 times or so before the 2 or 3 minute mark, just to reset the lanes, and the fact that you can no longer push with the Charm Siege creep anymore. The hero is just really, really problematic. This Earth Spirit is a hero that Alliance has been going to more and more lately for Taiga. Taiga actually had, I think it was the 5th or 6th fastest tower kill at Birmingham as an Earth Spirit, right? Very unusual for that hero to actually do building damage, but that's the level of pressure that they like to bring. And this is something that Alliance has done very well as the season has gone on. They've been able to translate those early kills in lane into tower pressure in much the same way that OG did so well last year at TI.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things Alliance has. Maybe the way they've improved the most is actually taking objectives outside the base.
Yes.
It's inside the base that things have been a little bit tricky, let's call it that lately. Something to look at here in this draft, there's a lot of stuns. And as is tradition with CIS Dota, they love their stuns. They love heroes that kill, they love heroes that go in, and they love heroes that want to fight. And it looks like Alliance's preparation for this match is we're going to fight them. There's nothing about these picks from Alliance that show a desire to avoid fights or try to play a little bit more strategically around big cooldowns or delay by pushing waves or whatnot, because Alliance's supports, they even get another fighting hero here, Koi for Storm Spirit.
Yeah, this is a very nice first four.
Picking it into a losing matchup. TA, I believe, still consistently beats Storm, but
he has the roam from Earth Spirit.
He has the Earth Spirit roaming.
Changed that a lot.
On the other side, there is a really good counterplay to Earth Spirit, though, in the Rubik. Those two heroes actually get matched up against each other a lot historically in Dota, just because they have this weird interaction where Earth Spirit loves to target mid and Rubik loves to defend mid from ganks. He's a very good counterplay hero, but also you kind of, at the same time, like playing Earth Spirit against Rubik because all of the spell steals are really bad. Like
exactly.
There's nothing you can steal from this hero that feels useful. So Rubik's ulti is just not very good against him.
The Earth Spirit is strong because of its spell combo, right? There's no one spell that Rubik can steal to do a fraction of what Earth Spirit does. He really needs all of his spells in combination.
Exactly. There are some other good steals here, though.
Rich was just looking like, he was kind of looking at you like.
No, it's beautiful. It's just a very Sasuke
He was
versus
looking at me
Naruto
and
dynamic.
thinking he's beautiful, yes.
Oh, well, we all do.
I understand.
I was trying to make an anime reference for all my cuties in the
Oh
chat.
I don't
my
get that.
God.
I don't get those, sorry.
Yeah, I'm a big guy myself.
Okay.
But hey, you're not bad looking, man. I honestly, I would have preferred if you went with what we asked and grew out the mustache, and we could have done the whole mustache miner thing. But who knows? Maybe there's next time if I don't get fired. We'll see.
So no.
So what is lacking? Thanks. It's really nice to meet you, by the way, Stan.
Another thing that I wanted to highlight.
Thanks, Miles.
Alliance are one of the teams that protects their 3-position matchup most during the draft. And I think that's entirely justified. But like Alliance this year, if you just point to one factor, when do they look like a potential world-class team? When do they look like they're really struggling? It is Boxy. When he is playing as a top 5 offlaner, this team looks really, really good. And so I think you can justify potentially leaving your offlane pick to last. Of course, you do have some flex value from the Sven. That can be a 3 Sven, but I think it's more than likely a team fighter.
There's also added value to saving the offlaner in this game because you know the enemy mid matchup. TA is a mid hero. Yep. That is the one. That is something you sacrifice when you pick this hero early, is that you show the enemy team the mid lane matchup, and that means Alliance. They see the TA and they see one support that is likely to be the 4 in the Rubik, especially knowing Lil loves to play the hero. So they have all the information they need to pick Koikva's hero. And the 3 position is very interesting because there are some very unique heroes in that role that can either totally dominate or be absolute garbage in some games. And it can be the exact same hero that can look like the best hero in the game and look like bottom 10 in the next. And it's all about matchups, and it's all about how the first 10 minutes go in the laning stage for some of these heroes that Boxy loves to play. One of them has been banned out in this game. The Bat Rider that Boxy has been looking really hot on lately is not available. We know he likes to play heroes like Tidehunter, which also is super matchup dependent if that hero is good.
Doom is still in the pool, but
Doom
you don't necessarily want to pick Doom into an enemy Wraith King.
Yeah, it's not a good Doom game.
Yep.
It really isn't.
Centaur is another hero that Boxy personally likes quite a lot. And I could see in a kind of game that is going to be a lot of in and out.
There's a Tide ban. Yep. They do target him on that. That's fair enough. But yeah, another pick for Winstrike that we kind of skipped over, the Wraith King, another stun, another aggressive fighting hero.
It's a silent hero, man.
It's such a silent hero, too. Yeah. He loves this hero. He has played it so many times. Whether it's been good or not, he's played it anyway.
I mean, he used to play, he played at support a few times back in the day
when
it was like, when AUI was like playing 4-position Wraith King.
Yeah, well, he's a Wraith King guy for sure. So he'll know what to do in this game. I like Wraith King conceptually as a pick against Storm, not because the stun is good against Storm, but a lot of the times in fights, what gives Storm the advantage is that the first burst of mana that he uses, like his first 50 or 75%, gets a key kill. And then you play off that advantage and snowball the fight. Storm hates jumping Wraith King. It's such a bad target because even if you kill him, you actually kind of lost the trade because you used valuable mana and damage on this hero. And currently Alliance's follow-up to kill him the second time doesn't look too great either. So I kind of like the Wraith King. One thing Winstrike don't have too much though is a solution to the Storm. Oh, this is a very surprising pick. No, I was not expecting that.
Okay, so this is going to be core Sand King, more than likely for Winstrike?
Yeah, position 5 AA for No Fear Crawler. Okay. I actually thought they were going to pick a support that's better against Storm than AA is.
I agree.
I was thinking another instant stun on top of Rubik and Sand King, which granted is pretty good against the Storm, no doubt, but there's nothing that Ice Blast is particularly good against here.
So are they picking AA to tri-lane? Is that the goal here?
They could be tri-laning. It's really solid in lane with Wraith King. It's a great dual lane.
I mean, that was one of the other stats from Birmingham that came back, is that the aggro tri-lanes were actually the second most common type of lane that was run at that tournament and had almost a 60% win rate.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so there's the Mars. That's another hero that they've gone back to. That will be Boxy's hero. This is going to be a 1-position Sven. I like this. This Alliance draft for me checks all the boxes in terms of what they like to do as a team.
All the Boxies.
Oh.
I like this Sin guy.
I love that.
I like this Sin guy. So I actually do need to get your autograph a little bit later for one of my friends.
Of course. Based on that joke, right?
Yeah, just cool. There. Yeah, he's a big fan of you. So I do want to ask about the Mars right now, because we've been talking about this a little bit before we even got to this draft, and then I want to touch on what Nahaz was saying about the idea of the overall strength of the draft. But is this pretty telling for Mars? Because we kept going back to how impactful is it going to be in the current meta? How important is this hero going to be in this minor? Is this one of the games where we're looking at Mars to see what is this hero going to be able to accomplish.
I mean, especially when you 10th pick it, right? When you have all the information on the table and you pick this hero, if it doesn't thrive in this kind of condition, it makes it even harder to pick it early, right? So I personally don't consider this that good of a Mars game myself.
No,
like,
but I
look
think
at
he's
the
just that good of
matchups
a hero. I
he's
think
solid, but
when you look at the way his physical damage output scales, like his physical damage output ramps up without necessarily a huge amount of farm fairly early on, and I think that's just it's just a tremendous hero to fight with between 10 and 20 minutes.
The thing he loves to do is to throw down the arena, find a key target, and take the fight off that. But his choices aren't that good. TA has Refraction. And the other hero is a Wraith King. And if you use your arena on a Wraith King, that's already not a great start to the fight. So I could see better matchups. On top of that, I've played a lot of Mars myself. If the laning stage is hard, this hero actually doesn't play particularly well from behind, and his lane is hard this game.
Well, to help us figure out just how strong this hero really is, luckily we're going to have our analytical partner in SAP, so when we do return after this game, we're going to be able to say just how good potentially Mars is going to be in this minor, but we also have the lovely opinion of our casters. We're going to jump down right now and get this game started.
Well, the opinion that matters at least, which is Kyle. Like, Kyle, you were begging for something else. It was like, I don't know if this is really a Mars game, and you said it was actually...
I just thought it was an illusion core. I saw Secret do this in Game 5 of that last tournament we casted. Toby, you're in a pretty free Naga game. Be a pretty good PL game. You're against Wraith King and TA.
Yep.
And we already have a ton of action, actually.
Yeah, so let's go to the game, guys.
There's a first blood that's already come out.
Yep.
They're going to get the last hit on Taiga.
Yeah, it's not even 40 seconds before the thing's going to spawn up, but this is why we jump in nice and early. Winstrike already claimed it, as it looks like we also have Lil in a little bit of trouble as Alliance look for a rebuttal, and they're able to get that as well. So heavy aggression, a 5v5 battle around the Radiant Shrine.
Yeah, man. So to reiterate, concern I have is that the Winstrike lineup, you didn't really address the issues, which is you've got to be able to get on top of the supports and kind of deal with these frontline cores, right? But realistically, if they're able to initiate on the Sven, Mickey's not going to really be able to do anything. There's too many stuns. And TA, the reason it's early picked is because it is the hard counter to Sven. TA Lifestealer, those are the two heroes we see picked up time and time again against the hard carry Sven.
See, there you go, guys. No matter what, we've got Webus and we've got JJ here, so we don't miss any kills. We always have a replay option. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. You see, I want to watch this mid matchup. We haven't seen Koifa in a while. Had some health issues, now back. Madara no longer standing in for Alliance. It'll be interesting to see how he meshes. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And
to put him into a Storm Spirit game straight off the cuff, there's a lot of pressure on the Storm Spirits to get the perfect. Oh, what's the courier doing?
That's really good awareness from Koifa, though, to just see it coming immediately. He was setting up to get the Q off onto the range creep. You want to be able to push wave against the TA, and that's exactly what he's doing now with a huge gold lead.
Oh, that's problematic to say the very least. Also, just notice there's still a bounty rune up on top that Winstrike will now claim. So it's like, all right, just wait a comfortable 1 minute before you go and get that, because you know that there's no way that Mars is leaving this lane. Boxy is in full defense mode against a 3, but Lil, pick him up, throw him back with the Hellfire Blast. They get the chaining with the cold feet. The skewer will not push Silent underneath the tier 1 tower. And No Fear is the one to claim the kill.
This is an impossible lane for the Mars, especially due to the low base armor. 3 stuns, you're just going to continuously go down. Nangrad, of course, suffering bottom too, but this top tri lane from Winstrike, if they can get lane control, which they are going to be unable to do, they have the double archer still. Alliance, they don't want to contest top, they want to help out middle, dual lane instead.
Well, if they can get a kill on bottom, they'll be happy with this, but they don't have enough damage. Nangrad will just back up and salve. Prep is in mid, and if he can move fast enough.
It's not realistic. You can mess with the TA, but you're not going to be able to kill him unless he steps out of position here. No mana for refraction.
Not like the Ember game, right, where you can burn through the defensive refraction.
The thing is, though, because he has no courier. Oh, here we go.
Here's the pick up, pick down, and well, okay, not harass him. You actually get the kill.
Yeah, just walking straight into Koifa, that's not going to go well for you. And in a way, it's not terrible for the TA, just because now he can at least go back to base, teleport back in. There was no courier, so now you have him teleporting in with 3 mangoes. Top now, more rotations.
Nice pickup from Lil, just throwing Boxy away so they don't actually get the stun. But then again, there's more support arriving in the form of Tiger. A great stroke. Lil still in a lot of trouble. One more attack will do it. Insania is able to claim that with a rolling boulder. Wraith King having difficulty also backing up. Boxy's on so low life, so he just waits it out just long enough enough that they can chain this up, look for the extra kill, skewering him to the tree, and they need one more attack. Insania will claim that. Lil does not have damage to get any kind of rebuttal. And Alliance, they wanted to start this game with a fast tempo, getting first blood, and they instantly rotated everything up to contest top.
That all starts with just mismanagement of the creep wave, though, Toby, because they pushed into tower, which allowed the next wave as well to die under tower. So Boxy was level 2.5. Lil was still just 1. So he has a lift, sure, but no damage output. Alliance punished. They get 3 kills. And immediately, Taiga TPs to middle, try and help out his Storm Spirit, whereas bottom, Mickey still hard free farming against a Sand King of Nangrata, who, you know, we can Sandstorm, sure, but Mickey's going to get every CS.
Yeah. He's going to get all the levels. Like what we had 2 8-minute Midases in the last round. Like, I'm interested to see what he picks up this time. Once again, TA, there needs to be some level of help to come, but it just doesn't arrive. They still, Winstrike, very much focused on this aggro try.
Yep, and it's a Rubik AA, right? These heroes are dual roamers, laners. You're not really able to turn anything around if you come middle. Sure, you might be able to save your TA, but counter kills are out of the question. And because you're a triple stun lane, under-leveled, you don't want to leave here, especially now that Boxy's approaching level 4.
Yeah, life is going to get a lot harder for Winstrike before it's going to get better. Need to find something to change this around. At least Nangrata is getting good levels in this bottom lane, even if he's unable to stop the CS of Mickey.
It's going to be farm wars down bottom. Can expect a lot of trading. More TPs coming out as to be expected. Taiga's actually going to smoke, fill the bottle of Koifa, and then just go straight towards the other side of the map. Has 3 wards to place. Love this movement. So efficient. Bottom.
He's here to do something about the SK, and because he is level 3, they may have a chance with this. Scattered out the rune up on top. Grimstroke. Oh, nice push back. Silent's going to cop a lot of damage, and another hit.
The 3-man
pushing him back, but and one more attack would do it, but Silent into the trees. Boxy has to keep running. The cold feet's can trigger, as well as the Hellfire Blast. And what has Boxy really got left? He got 6 1-charges as well as a Rebuke. They'll trigger the 1-charge, but the Fade Bolt from Lil will put him down. And this is all for the 5-minute bounty runes as well, which is going to go really well as the Rolling Boulder forward into Kuman. Koifa, has he got enough damage to finish the job before the double TPs can finish? Actually, they only let one of the TPs go through.
Yeah, so you get the save, but there's the thing. Like, there's no counterplay. There's no actual punish to the dive. And as you say, a lot of movement being made. I love that Taiga has done this maneuver, though, to place 3 wards just as nighttime's coming up. You will not expect this. He placed them all out of smoke, and he was able to fill the bottle, which is just continuing to help Koifa's game accelerate. Catapult Wave is active.
Good scan from Dyer. They already know support's coming up to help out.
Yeah, but isn't enough Silence in trouble?
Yeah, then again, maybe it's Taiga who's in more trouble. Coldfeet's going to connect. Rolling Boulder. He actually connects. Silent push back over towards the stack, but Lil has now TP'd himself up to top lane. The second he saw this fight beginning, he did that, and the Fade Bolt ensures the kill.
Yeah, but I think you're okay with this rear lines. You got a Treads, Bracer, Sven down bottom, still free farming, and sure, Nangrata's getting a lot, but Mickey is still with 18 denies this early on. 5 to 6, still an even game. Tough to read. I feel like the carry plays. It's really about which 1 and 2 position play better. You've got the assassin type core mid and the Storm TA, and then obviously the hard carries that'll probably both end up going Midas and the Sven and the Wraith King. Maybe
do you actually need like longer sustained damage just because the way the Wraith King functions with reincarnation? Like, does Alliance need more on their 1 and 2 position?
In a way, but I think Mars equalizes this a bit. If you look at Winstrike's lineup, they don't have any of that huge AoE area control. Sure, you could hit a multi-burrow strike, but nothing like a Mars arena where theoretically Boxy just blinks in all of a sudden. Team fights over, bang.
Man, what a great double stun. Just lines him up. Here comes your stroke. So Silent trying to outrun him, pick up, throw down. Lil actually bringing Boxy closer towards Silent, but they've got nothing really to chain. And Sania can't reach that long damage while Nangrata will die on the bottom lane. There's your first real movement of Koifa.
Yep, Haste Rune. Easy peasy, all set up because he does have that vision of the bottom rune. Shout out to his Earth Spear.
It's just, this Sven's getting totally out of control. And it doesn't feel like Sven's going to drop off. That's why I was asking the question. Is like all this net worth on Sven really the same amount of net worth just because you got the double life on the Wraith?
It is just because Sven will farm so much faster. That's the thing. Sven gets out of control just
he is
unbelievably quickly if you have a free game like this.
He's leveling up quickly as well.
Yes.
Like, you've still got Wraith King at level 4, 7.5 minutes into the game because of this aggressive tri lane.
And they're going to come top now, but issue, as you say, like the levels 3, 3, and 4 top lane. That's a level 5 Mars. If he gets 6, you can no longer play this aggressive. They're going to miss the roll. Kick lands. I love the synergy as well. The Grimstroke Inkswell combined with the Earth Spirit. You see Tiger just roll in, and then boom, another area stun available. Silent will be going for the Midas. I like that Mickey is actually choosing not to go for one. Looks like he's queuing up the Echo Saber. I really like this decision because it means that Alliance will hit that peak faster. They don't want to play into Winstrike's hands, stall the game out, potentially go up against a Radiance Deso timing. They can try to get real active real fast, especially with all the reach they have. That Storm Earth Spirit, love the combination.
Yeah. And another combination the Grimstroke doesn't have to do much for. It's like, well, swell.
It's just great. Any Spirit plus Grimstroke makes sense. Ember, Storm, or Earth. Man, they can just continue to freeform. I'm always afraid when I watch Svens get free games like this. To your point, like the XP is huge, but it just, of all heroes in the meta right now, and the reason Sven is consistently first two'd, it's because you translate this early gold advantage into the highest increase in farming speed. You can always do Ancients yourself once you get that Echo, and you just never have to go off map. You just constantly farm. You see a rotation coming in. Winstrike's going to try and get activated, but that's a level 8 Mickey.
And that's a lot, a lot of players out here from Alliance. They start over on Silent. Remember, he doesn't have the 6 just yet. Insania, they need another extra control. Dust is down, so everyone's visible. And with a pullback, Silent, here comes your rolling boulder. At least you will have some extra damage, but Mickey, he needs some distance as the cold feet's helping to take him down. But now Boxy, it's time for the Arena of Blood. Lil can't go anywhere. 3 heroes lost. It was the Sven, however, which was the rebuttal from Winstrike, so that's their upside.
He would have survived too. Koifa, he went in not recognizing, because the dust hadn't come out until it was already being channeled, the epicenter, and he grips the Wraith King instead. Otherwise, he's going to interrupt that spell and certainly save his allied Sven, but you'll take it, as you said. 3 for 1, it's okay with Alliance, although it was heavy rotations and no objectives to be heard of.
I may actually lose out more. Insania, he's got his stun available, but it won't matter. Lil was already there, ready to roll. And you got to be careful, like doesn't matter how many teams Lil has moved through, like he is still a fantastic Rubik player.
Indeed.
Boxy, a little bit of trouble for him, just being frostbitten up by that cold feet. Wants to back off for a second as the Koifa has moved over as well. Dust gonna burn, and
in the sandstorm though.
SK didn't really go anywhere, so yeah, inside the sandstorm, Nongrata. There's your hit coming in from Insania and Boxy at the same time. Hit him from 2 different directions. And then the follow-up stun. No fear, it won't even help if you rotated heroes down. That's why they're just attacking towards the top lane instead. Lil and Silent working together. The Mickey just war cries and runs back to the tier 1.
This is another benefit of this Sven. You're so durable in this early laning phase, especially with the multi-points in Warcry. Yeah, you can kill him if there's 3, 4 heroes around, but Rubik Wraith King, you do nothing but tickle.
TA's net worth is starting to really start to rise because she's just had these ancient stacks all the time, and like nothing's really contesting. In fact, they may even just bring TA towards the top to try and get what I think is a triple stack on the northern lane.
I think they might just pull it. You still have skeletons, and the Wraith King has not saved the point for the Reincarnate, keep in mind. So they won't be available, but Alliance, of course, won't know that. You never really want to play into a Wraith King. That's just how it goes.
Wraith King also never really wants to have to reincarnate at level 6. Like that level 1 reincarnate is just such a long cooldown time.
And they're sitting up on bottom. Again, this double stun combination, Sand King plus AA, especially with the ultimate available, will almost certainly take down any hero they target. If it's been buttered up a bit. Here they go.
Lil's coming in. Here's your Ice Blast, going to connect over on Boxy. You do put the arena down. That helps get the kill into the Ancient Apparition, which Earth Spirit kicked back into the arena.
Stun in 2 seconds. Lil has steal.
The rolling boulder was just a little bit too early into the epicenter. They want to ensure there's the extra damage. Insania actually binds them together, but there is no follow-up to be had.
Just going for the slow. There really isn't too much synergy with the Grimstroke ulti this game. Just the Storm and the Sven disables. But the AoE slow is quite nice. Top rune. Oh, Koifa gets it just under the nose of Kuman.
That's a lot of damage, however. That can be just thrust into him by the TA. We're not even looking at a damage amplification item, like it's just double wraiths plus treads.
Yeah, this is the danger of playing as active as Koifa has on Storm, right? He's 207, but if you look at the net worth, he's 1,500 behind the TA, who, sure, you haven't been as active on commit. In fact, he's 0-2-1, but he's got nearly 100 CS and 24 denies at only 12:30 into the game.
It's just been ancient stacks the entire time. Like, and he doesn't have to go anywhere from the mid lane because you've got both the camps nearby. You just TA trap. It's like, well, all right, I think we're good.
Yep. Another Val first item pickup onto the Sand King. We've seen that multiple times already this tournament. I don't mind it here. There's so much magic damage. You have AA, right? You have another form of magical amplification. And now you're going to do oodles of damage. You smoke up behind the SK. You can push the lane easily. They'd love to get active with this fresh Blink Dagger on Kuman. He did not go for the Deso rush. Wants to be aggressive.
Actually got that before Deso. Normally we see it like that second item. Like you get the Deso, then you get your Blink Dagger or something else.
I like it though because you have Wraith King going Midas. So you don't want to be in a scenario where both of your cores are just looking to farm, contribute nothing to the game. And this just allows Kuman to play in this top area of the map around the Non-Grata Sand King. You want somebody to partner up. Bottom Alliance is trying to make moves, but it's only going to serve to mirror the map. We'll see both teams trade towers here.
If they can move a little faster, Alliance, but they'll get there.
And to your point, you know, Mickey I have not seen do an Ancient stack yet. He's farming well, don't get me wrong, but you know, so far Kuman definitely ahead in that regard. And now they're just going to leave him top. He'll play with the teleport. The rest of his team's going to look to move towards middle. In fact, TATP's mid, they want to fight this. This is a huge wraparound with the smoke.
Yeah, they did the wraparound to get the wards down so they could watch the aggressive or the defensive farming area. Now they can be aggressive onto their own tier 1 tower. Non-Grata, he's looking for an attack, but no, he doesn't hit the Burrow Strike perfectly. So they have to back out, but then again, as you said, no detection available. Their Soulbind in through the back lines. That's problematic for both AA as well as Wraith King, but now you're into the arena. Silence not caught inside of it, but the SK will be. Non-Grata will fall, and Koifa, he's got enough mana to jump back down into the river and away from the magnetized Winstrike, who uses double buyback to get back into that fight. And instantly Alliance just want to get the hell out. They'll lose Tiger on the way out.
You take that all day if you're Alliance, though. That fight could have been far worse for you. Instead, you lose just 1 to 2 kills, and you force out the 2 buybacks. And immediately into the Shrine, and more farm from Mickey. He did a good job there. You could see he knew that something was fishy, and Alliance did a great job reading the movement of Winstrike. They knew there's no way they could be coming from the Shrine area. They've got wards there. They're positioned on the high ground. They have to be coming from the left, and they prevent the pincer. They pull back, and they ensure that no matter what happens there, they're going to be at least on even ground. In fact, I think they had the positional advantage.
Yeah. The way they actually split, the second the SK Burrow Strike doesn't hit, you were mentioning previously, like, how are these stuns really going to work from Winstrike unless you get the proper chain? They're not that long in duration either. Oh, quick, jump away, stay away, stay away. And back to the tier 2.
Insane are going to teleport in just in case. Does not want to watch Koifa go down to anything here. And Blink Dagger will be the next item of choice on Mickey. So the initiation advantage will tilt towards the Alliance side. When you consider both of their big cores have that jump forward potential along with the Earth Spirit, they're going to have the Inkswell on top of one of those heroes that jumps forwards. It just becomes so much easier for Insanity to play the game in comparison to the AA of No Fear and the Rubik of Lil, who are always going to be the targets here for these Alliance jumpers.
Do you actually like that from him, considering you've got so much Alliance jump already? Like, do you need more of that, or is it better having like a stronger core? I suppose you have a Mars who's going to be that hero for you anyway, who's just going to, right now, lock in the Ancient Apparition and kill him off. That's a little too easy. I'm like, how many frontliners do you need? But yeah, it makes sense. Just get a quick pop.
I'd be curious. I think the lack of blink on Non-Grata is troublesome. They're going to actually just dive towards this mid-tower. Lil, luckily, has a haste rune.
We found somebody. Okay, well, Warcry Solan.
That's not bad. That's a better spell. He was losing the Silence of the Grimstroke, and really nice spell, in all honesty. You can kite the Alliance heroes. We know their jump potential is high, but now you're able to kite back a bit, potentially bait into a big Epi AA Blast combination. And Alliance doing a great job. Whenever you normalize the game around this 15-20 minute mark, it's very important that the Dire side takes some kind of control and vision in this top Shrine area, because again, that's the Radiant Ancient, right? You want to deny this from TA, and you want to ensure that they don't get the idea that Roche is a possibility. You want to play around this pit and then look to sweep the map. And
then thanks to their nice observer warding, they're watching the fact that Winstrike did move towards the south. They're watching they're sitting inside their own jungle. And that's just lining up Boxy to look. Okay, blink away. Refraction did come up. Epicenter Non-Grata wants to go for the solo kill. Over on Grimstroke, and Senior is already dead. There will be the quick silence. Sentry Wards is down for the Dire side, so they see a lot, but the Ice Blast is going to hit so hard. Tiger as well as Boxy both being connected on. Then Lil, well, they'll finally get him down, but what is the cost? Mickey, he's locked in the cold feet. Koifa wants to help out by controlling Kuman. He's got nothing more to give. In fact, stunned up himself, and he'll go down. Silent gets the extra crits. And that's 3-2-3 going the way of Silent from Koifa's death, but it's Alliance just throwing the advantage back to Winstrike.
It's the classic blunder, Toby, where you watch, Insania goes down without casting a spell. Nangrata goes in, he solo kills him, sure, but then you hard initiate onto the Sand King, still under cover of Sandstorm. You can take him out, sure, but he has 1700 health. He has a Veil, 12 armor. You waste all your abilities and damage on a hero that is effectively useless now in the engagement.
Yep.
And they get punished for it. You can see, if you catch a stun on Koifa, there's so much physical damage, thanks to the Wraith King and the TA, who went for the armlet first, by the way, then into the Radiance. They were not weak around their shrine. Plus, that was an active shrine. And Winstrike didn't even feel the need to play defensively. Just a bit over-eager from Alliance. They're playing a great game, but just too bloodthirsty.
And I just... you start to worry if you're Alliance there, because Winstrike want to play this faster tempo. They want to have reasons to build an armlet early and just basically play the toggle game throughout the fights. This is their type of tempo that Alliance is playing into before their strengths have arrived.
And it's not just that, it's the way like Alliance have distributed farm around the map, right? Where it feels like Koifa is playing like the 3 role in this game. He's got 6 more CS than Boxy, which just shouldn't be the case. If you think about the way this Storm is supposed to function within the game, he needs to be that hero that can go for these Winstrike supports and have the durability to survive through at least that initial stun combo when you consider they have no real save on the Alliance side. Even these illusions are providing difficulties.
Yeah. And Winstrike knew what they can get away with. They get these deeper observe wars. They plan down a second one now. They want to ensure they know when Alliance go bush. They need to know when they're farming.
You got an Atos now on Lil. Love that item pickup on Rubik. We see Yapsor pick this up a lot as well. The debuff amplification does work with your items. Thus, Atos lasts for, I don't know, it's like 3 seconds already, 3+. Bottom lane, Mickey and Insania trying to get aggressive, but they're really just trying to ensure they don't get out-farmed here because Winstrike have total control of this top area of the map. Wow, TA level 17. 4 levels on the enemy Storm Spirit.
Sure. They really... if you actually notice, like, Grimstroke is walking around with, like, it was 7 sentry wards. Something ridiculously high like that as Lil in a little bit of trouble. He'll end up going down. Trapped in the tree line, but he sacrificed himself for the greater good. Now Nangrata initiated on by Koifa, but the damage from Kuman. It's a good wall up from Boxy, but Koifa jumped away. He wasn't ready to stay as part of that fight. The dust reveals Nangrata, but it feels like Boxy was just kind of left for dead. That's the wrong game. Nangrata will die, so at least it's a 1-for-1 trade-off here. But Kuman line him up. The Side Blade's almost killing off Koifa, but now you get the double stun out from the Soulbind, but cold feet. You got Mickey stunned up, controlled, and then ice blasted up. He cannot regenerate, and Silent just wants to toggle his way through. 567 crit puts down the Sven, and Winstrike going from strength to strength.
Yep, and I am loving the build from Silent there. The Blink Dagger as well to ensure he had the ability to close. And this is not your typical, I'm an AFK farmer Radiance game from Silent. I like the decision. He goes for the Midas, but recognizing that Mickey is going for this fighting build, that Koifa's playing active, you're now in a scenario where your Sven is just Blink Echo. And that free game, that 1,500 gold advantage he had at like 9 minutes is gone. And sure, you have that little slight edge, but is it going to be enough is the question. Both TA and Wraith King will continue to accelerate. TA being one of those hard counters to Sven as this game continues. It's going to get tough for Alliance. They need to have that great initiation. We saw just then the power of the Grimstroke ult with the Sven stun. Problem is, there was a Rubik there.
Problem is, it always seems to come too late. Like, Alliance don't seem to be in the position to get the initiation off that they want. It's not as simple as, like, also hilariously, like, where's that Warlock and Grimstroke together? I guess the 1 of 1% makes a difference. Jump forward, Burrow Strike, say goodbye to Grimstroke. And this is it. Like, he's become target number 1 for Winstrike.
Yeah, and this is how you want to play as Winstrike. Go in deep with your 3 cores. Keep these supports in the back line, able to ensure that they can spam spells. They can be these high efficiency spellcasters in the back lines. And because you don't ever need to waste these huge cooldowns, you don't really have any. You can find that one pickoff into an objective, as they do here. They know Insania's buyback is on cooldown, which is why they were confident to commit that hard. And it's a free Aegis now for your level 18 TA, closing in on the BKB. Gotta be feeling good as a Winstrike fan. Alliance not out of this by any means. But it's
rough. Like, you want to have an influence from Koifa, right? Like so far, like, it just doesn't feel like it's there. He's got a Yule Scepter.
He's 4-1-10. He's doing his best. He just isn't farming. That's the problem.
It's like, who do you want to go on? Like, you want to go on the TA. You got to get through the refraction charges, and then you got to avoid the counter initiation as well. And and maybe that's the thing, like, you're a little hesitant. Like, he starts over on the SK. It's like, oh, okay, I can kill this guy. They're focusing my Grimstroke. I focus their SK. And this is, like, the two big, like, support control abilities that you need to take off the field.
The problem is, so you now have double BKB on Alliance, right? You're going to have it on the Mars and your Sven. Problem is that, you know, this allows you to ignore the 3-4-5 of Winstrike, sure, but which core do you want to try and take down under the duration of the spell immunity? Because TA and Wraith King have bonus lives.
You have to, yeah. You kind of need to take out the... Then again, they're both doing as much damage as each other. The TA is killing your backline. That's your major problem. The Wraith King is just this toggling. You need to ensure you got 3 heroes there to bring him down.
Yeah, it's just you can't really target Silent. If you watch him farm even, it's scary. 200 damaged plus the crits. You've got AC on the way, already halfway there. And that's so much minus armor represented. Meld is 8, Deso 7, another 5 from the AC, and all of a sudden every single hero on Alliance will be dropping into the scary negatives, and that is not a place you want to be.
There's the BKB into the inventory of Sven.
And they're going to 5-man smoke, but again, this isn't the Aegis. They have the BKB timing, but isn't enough.
Was there a ping like right behind them? I don't know if they caught the tail end of that smoke or not, but it had to be close.
They're just going to bait Silent. Look, the rest of the team just camping behind. There's no way you see Lil in the pit here. Arcane Rune now onto the TA as well.
Totally know. They already drew the line around the back. They know where Winstrike is sitting. But can they get up the hill? Lil's there, and they jump in. They'll get the very quick kill over on Lil. He's there for so long, and the follow-up into the Ancient Apparition. This is the fight that the Lions were looking for. Put them in the wall, lock them inside the arena. But then again, Boxy, he needs to get out of that arena. Kuman and Silent, they're still so damn strong, but the BKBs allowing Alliance to stand. There's the double buyback, the skewer, Silent so low, the magnetize, and the kick help bring him down, so they'll burn through both of the second lives, but they've got more to fight again. Koifa, he's running low on mana, down to a third. A Burrow Strike forward, Nongrata keeping the stun lock under there. Mickey, he can't go anywhere. Koifa still doesn't know who the hell he's meant to be attacking, and Boxy is actually helping them get further away as they go in deep behind the line. Silence finally brought down. And then the cost feels great for Alliance. Oh, he got him around the trees. The Ice Blast will connect, and Koifa is down to no fear.
You can see, though, that fight went perfectly for Alliance. They did exactly what they had to do. They took out both Winstrike supports immediately. They forced 2 buybacks, but the problem is that even though it's a 3-on-5, it's double life. And you get the TA Aegis, but in that time, like, the buybacks are coming out, and you know, it's a great fight. Really a miscue from Lil and No Fear just exposing themselves on the low ground. They should be the ones just way further in the back.
Perched up at the back?
Yeah, let Wraith King tank the gank, because that's the only way Alliance was going to win that fight. And they do a great job making the best out of a poor situation. They've equalized the game in the sense that no longer have to worry about the Aegis. It's just that next Roche. Feels like it's easier for Winstrike to find pickoffs.
Boxy's in trouble. He's got himself a BKB, fires it off, begins to TP out. He will be fine.
That'd have been a bit fast. They might have been able to take him out. They just needed Lil there. When he gets that Blink Dagger, he'll be able to initiate. That's the one... I'm trying to think. It's still anybody's game, but I think it's easier for Winstrike to play. However, it's easier for Alliance to win fights if they find the proper initiation and then have the arena down from Boxy.
And that's exactly what did happen, too. But
that was before the TA's BKB, which he's just finished.
Yeah. Once that arena comes down, Kuman triggers BKB, and he's very willing to fight through everything. And maybe it's a little bit harder for the Grimstroke to control it. Look at Kuman. He doesn't care. He's jumping in. He knows he's in the tree line. The Ice Blast will connect, and 52 seconds without Mars.
You cannot win a fight if you're Alliance, and you don't get the initiation. And Winstrike have recognized this. They're just running around the map as 5
Oh, come on, Tiger. You've got this, man. Courier snipe in the back lines. Boom. And one more. Hang on. Wait for it. Wait for it. Got a rolling ball the correct way. Okay, he won't do that.
And just going to try and cut the wave. Wants to ensure his mid-rack stays protected. They have no Boxy, which means they don't want to be team fighting here.
They're still got a big creep wave. Insania cannot get rid of that entire thing.
Dude, and they're 600 gold from the AC on Silent. That's a big spike for Winstrike. Koifa going for Bloodstone next. He's still really like 2 items away from being durable. Like, he still won't have armor, so he's never actually able to go toe-to-toe with these cores of Winstrike. He's going to have to settle for the weaklings at the back of the pack, but
It's like it's almost like you need to have like I don't want to say an Orchid on him because it's not a momentum style game, but you need some level of disable against the Ancient Apparition or the Rubik, so he can actually jump on him and control them more than just a Vortex.
It feels like he needs a Shivas and some item that gives damage. Oh, no,
That's a weird TP right onto the front of the tower. He's dead straight away. Jump at the back lines. Maybe it was all just a bait. Maybe it was all just mind games. SK and Rubik both take a fall. Is there any kind of follow-up? Doesn't look like it. Winstrike already backing up.
Really well done there by Boxy. And that's Alliance. Like, you can't go for the cores, punish the supports, punish the 3, 4, 5. You lose one, but Boxy immediately able to turn around with the arena.
Was that actually just the biggest bait ever? It's like, this is like, it felt so good to jump on it.
It's one of those scenarios where it feels like you have to make the play. You're set up to go for this gank. I think the only real mistake is Lil getting too close. You can't get caught in the arena as the Rubik. And you also don't need to overcommit that hard onto just an Earth Spirit kill. If you just land the Sand King stun and then Wraith King blinks in with the AA ult on top, like, he is dead for sure. Especially if there's a cold feed. Like, he won't even be able to cast a spell. The AC complete now on Silent. The minus armor starting to stack up for Winstrike. Alliance, though, when they can get the AC of their own on Mickey, they get the Shivas eventually on the Storm, you know, the Halberd on Boxy, they will be able to equalize. Nice glimmer from Insania. Jukes the stun.
As long as he can stay in the trees, Silent saw him for half a moment. So Insania has to throw down the secondary stun, and that's exactly what Lil's able to steal. Pick him up, throw him back down again. And that is one very dead Grimstrike, while Boxy will be able to complete his TP away to safety. The cold feet will not trigger in time.
Yeah, meanwhile, Alliance continuing to farm up top. Again, like the warding from Taiga. Still has vision in the mid lane, places one on the shrine. So they're set up for this second Roche spawn, which will be 50 to 3 minutes 50 seconds from now. We'll take top tier 1.
And the Dire Observer was just far enough back as well that Winstrike will probably not sentry for that. They'll look for the northern staircase, or they'll look for like the staircase just south of Roshan, but the ward's a lot deeper than that. And then the other one's in the middle of the mid lane.
The big thing is going to be the Storm level 25 at some point coming out, but the Bloodstone into the plate mail. Then all of a sudden, Koifa will have that survivability we've been waiting for. Until then, Winstrike definitely with the initiation and the damage advantage, but they've got to use it. And it's difficult to do so the way Alliance has been playing around the map. We've seen them set up multiple good baits throughout the course of this game. We're going to have a 2-for-2 bounty trade. But Winstrike with the Roche down do take the 2 towers bottom. Silent just going in.
Yeah, he wanted to find that kill over on Boxy, who hasn't got the ability to TP out. It was on cooldown for the moment, so he's just doing the run. While Kuman's looking for his own battle in mid, Mickey connected on, but he jumps the back line right on top of Insania. Silence him up, Glimmer cape out, and now maybe it's a little bit too deep for the Templar Assassin. Even with the haste rune, it won't matter when you're locked inside the arena and just brought down Boxy. A huge kill for him and a long death timer for the Templar Assassin.
Yeah, very lucky that Roche is a late spawn here. 2 minutes until the big boss is back up. Otherwise, they'd be punished a lot harder for that miscue. And that's just an example of... Whoa! Sick. He actually got him on the shrine. What a play. Did he have vision? Yeah, he had an idea and then confirmed that, yes, there was an Insania on the shrine. Well played, though, by No Fear. Good heads up. I didn't even see that one coming. And yeah, you just don't want to be chasing support. You have the top net worth on your team. It's one of those low percentage plays. Even if you get that kill for free 80% of the time, it's not worth it because of that 1 in 5 shot that you go down and potentially cost your team a huge objective. But again, lucky on the spawn. Alliance still with map control. Very even game, 29-26.
Yeah, not a lot in it. The Winstrike, they're still playing with a large amount of strength in their TA and their Wraith King, but how do they get a better positioning? Do you look at the warding game? These wards now are they're very deep either in mid lane or it's watching the bottom shrine.
I think as the game gets later...
They smoked on top of the Observer ward that they then killed.
The problem is, Toby, it gets easier and easier for Alliance to kill the supports of Winstrike as this game continues because they'll always have that reach advantage. Winstrike have got to capitalize now on their just raw DPS output and find some sort of fight. They've got a TA Butterfly in just a moment. There's a DD bottom. He's going to look to grab it and the item at once, but they smoked up a bit early. Yeah, you can see Kuman. He loved this. This is the go time now for Winstrike. They want to pick up this rune and make something happen. Roche spawning in 20 seconds. Koifa, oh no!
Oh, he jumped forward. He was looking for the rune himself. The Ice Blast's going to connect. Actually, it won't. He's dead. No buyback available, and Rubik stole Ball Lightning, which allows him to get the Rod of Atos over onto Mars. Boxy has to turn around for his own spear. And man, Lil, he really wanted to convert that into another kill, but now they can look towards Roshan.
And they know it's going to be spawning soon. They have a trap in the pit. Koifa, he does not have buyback. And more importantly, he still is not going for a plate mail. In a game like that, I just feel like you need armor.
She's up. No, he's up.
Alliance, they're going to sit in the pit, or the base rather, but no real other choice. But you're going to once again face the 2 cores of Winstrike with extra lives available. Cheese now on the Wraith King. Level 25s for both these cores, fast approaching. TAs, I think the meld hit bash is just so value in a game like this when you consider that now all of a sudden you're the blink initiator and you have so much follow-up available from really any of your other heroes. You can see the circle drawn. No fear saying, guys, I want to keep them inside the base.
Yeah, I can blast all of this area. Lie down the middle, lie down the bottom lane. It's like, guys, push in bottom, push in mid, and eventually we'll find somebody.
And it's easy for them to play this way because you can keep silent mid as everybody else moves away from him. You're never going to be in a position as Alliance where you're confident to initiate on one of these heroes with an extra life. And oh, nice side blade. Cancels Boxy's blink, but won't be enough. And Lil still has that Ball Lightning. His initiation range is insane. And there
now
goes.
He comes. To the left, Lil. To the left. Cuts through the tree line, saw him for half a second, and gets Boxy in the trees.
Oh no, he didn't BKB!
BKB to TP out. It'll be cancelled. And now he has no way to escape. Burrow Strike from Nongrata will arrive as well. At least Boxy's got a lot of tankiness to himself. That's
like
still 19 armor they get him through. Now he's going to BKB and Arena 2, which then gets stolen by Lil. He's jumping up.
No.
He doesn't want to burn it. Actually, sorry, it's a rebuke he stole. Burrow Strike up. Mars again caught in the tree line. This is buying space for Sven to farm. Now the TA trap will reveal Boxy. They are taking forever to kill him. This is just going on forever. Finally, Boxy will be cracked, but the tier 2 tower was lost on top.
It reveals the flaw in the Winstrike lineup. A heavy reliance on physical damage output against heroes that will inevitably be able to negate most of it, specifically the Mars, where you've got Bulwark, the front and side reductions already enough, but the 25% miss chance as well, thanks to the Halberd, the disarms.
Going for the fight. Koifa jumping in, takes the bounty rune, just wants to get straight back out again, however. And the epicenter being blown by Nongrata. Alliance had no intention to fighting this.
Yeah, and all you have to do, if you look, it's like one of those scenarios again. You have 3 farm cores on the side of Alliance, really just 2 on Winstrike. And it's very difficult for these Winstrike heroes to ever get onto these Alliance supports just because of the nature of their hero buyups. And yeah, that's a jump.
Long jump from Koifa. He knew
well.
exactly who he wanted. It was the Observer Ward that let them see everything. But Kuma BKB'd up, starts his own TP. This one won't be cancelled. That's how you BKB TP. Use the BKB.
Insane also sticking around that fight. Might have actually died to No Fear's Ice Blast once again had he continued running backwards. They saw Mickey mid. They know he's in the area, but how do you really go for this if you're Winstrike? They're thinking about it. But with no Rubik, it's a 4-on-5 if you initiate now.
Oh, there you go. Blink forward, get the stun. Observer Sentry. Saw Mickey walking over. He'll BKB, go for his own Stormbolt. Support is arriving in the form of Tiger. Gets the silence and the follow-up kick. That's enough control for him to rolling Boulder out. Did get clipped on the way through by the TA trap, but Mickey.
He's going to go back in.
Yeah, he's healing up for the moment, thanks to the Shrine.
Yeah, if they had walked up the hill, they would have definitely gotten initiated on by Alliance. But it's a wise decision. You don't want to be the jumping team, but
he's the one that gonna jump on. The Stormbolt flies forward. It hits over on one. Bind them together. Silence up No Fear as well as Silent. They're waiting as Tiger in the back lines. They're just putting down rocks to let the ears keep ringing. They have enough, and the ring comes in from Boxy. He has already bought back into the game. He knew he'd sacrifice himself for this, but Alliance have no real follow-up, even after that buyback, to continue this fight.
Wise decision, though. They know they're still playing into the TA Aegis and BKB. You just want to stall out this game. Don't play into 2 cores with extra lives. And you can see, though, the Storm as well. With the Bloodstone charges, all of a sudden, Koifa, far more difficult to take down. He can play a lot more aggressively within these fights. And it's just Boxy. He's not a target. He is never a target for you if you're Winstrike. I don't care if you have him completely isolated. Thanks to the Halberd, thanks to the Bulwark, you cannot go for him. He didn't even have to use the BKB in that fight because he was never threatened. You've got to try and find a way to get onto the supports or the Storm of Koifa. Those are the real targets.
That's pretty hard targets, though. They're moving hard. Koifa is just zipping everywhere, and he's also very happy to burn every bit of mana he's got to get that initial kill and then just get the hell out. But I'm liking the damage arriving on Sven. Like, he's going to have a real big hit coming in soon. That's, of course, if he can connect. Small detail.
And I like he went for the stun cooldown instead of the lifesteal. We see most Svens do this, of course, but just more control, more ability to extend the length of the team fights. And that's how Alliance is going to win the fights. Winstrike, they need to find a kill right away.
It chilled Mickey, and Winstrike's going to get that. Stormbolt is out, but Sven going to use the BKB, get the TP away to safety. Kuman could not do enough damage in time, but they revealed it with the Soulbind that Insania was nearby. He knows that these creeps are going to cause him a lot of problems, not to mention Lil. Again with that blink forward. Nongrata will be there for the follow-up stun. Silent who will claim it, however.
And I believe that they kill Mickey there. Kuman misclicked and did not get the meld hit off. He did go for meld hit bashes, and unless that doesn't penetrate spell immunity, which I'm 99% sure it does, that would have been a kill on a core. And that now is a bit scarier for Mickey to play this aggressively. Same with Boxley. They won't have that immunity teleport available any longer. Wraith King finished Mjolnir. It's tough for both sides, really. Still anybody's game. I like this decision from Koifa. He's not going Orchid. Let the Sven do that. You've got to get Ashivas, my friend. You need armor. Because right now, even though he does have all that health, he just can't jump forwards or he'll just die.
That's some confident ball lightning not to get grabbed. Burnt every bit of mana he had, but got the item he needed, so Shivas is totally done.
Yeah, that was definitely the right decision here. I think even after that, he might go for an Axe. It's just control. You just get your level 25, control the enemy heroes, find the supports, and try and kite the damage of the Winstrike cores throughout their BKBs. You will win a long engagement if you're Alliance. Winstrike, they're still just hunting. They've got the power spike.
They're looking for their target. They found one right in towards mid lane. It's going to be Boxy. Storm Spirit jumping through him into the back lines. Looking for the kill over on Lil. While they're starting to control Ancient Apparition. There's your damage coming in from Sven. They want it onto Kuman as well. The Soulbind locking him together. The silence will be bounced back thanks to the Lotus Orb. But then the Stormbolt does the same thing. That low cooldown. Mika can get so many of them off. The Burrow Strike. Maybe they have enough time. Boxy's held back. It's a good start. A good control. Kuman goes down. That's that bonus 1 second they had to work with. Now it's Nongrata under Sentry Ward. He has to back up from this, but he's playing on the edge of it. Now the Burrow Strike, Lotus Orb, send her on back towards Mickey, but Nongrata, Yule Scepter up as well. Now Wraith King, he's rejoined the fight. Mickey pushed up the hill, away from Silent, kiting at the Wraith King, but the burn is still there. Mickey needs the distance. He's going to survive on basically nothing.
Hey, he killed Boxy though, but this time he's got a buyback prepared. Winstrike blow the entire load on a hero that is immediately rejoining the fight. And you can see Alliance in the long engagements. This is when they thrive. Kuman's BKB goes down. He blinks forwards to try and find a kill, I believe, on Insania. And you can see Koifa is just watching an auto turret find his target, immediately zips forwards, and then a full stun lock, 100-0 dies.
Yep. Man, that's that kind of engagement that we saw from Alliance during their recent Birmingham trip, but now Alliance still need to hold strong, push back. That's a long stun time.
Stole the arena.
And maybe with the arena steal, it's Lil battling it out. Koifa doesn't care. He's going to jump in the middle. They've got all the stun lock control time and a reincarnation. He'll come back to life once again. Everyone get Wraithfire blasted thanks to the talent, but it won't matter when Silent is controlled, skewered outside the base. So they have to burn the mana to catch him up. But Silent's dead for 2 minutes. That'll be a mid lane of Rax.
Might be more. It's 2 minutes of a 4-on-5, and that's the top net worth hero on Winstrike. Not to mention their main source of damage output here. They had an Arcane Rune on Mickey, so he'll have his ult back up soon.
They want to get 2 lanes.
They can't get 3, of course, because bottom is open. They're actually going to just back off. I don't blame them. They're not pressured. That fight opens the game for them completely, because now you have a 6-minute window, 7 minutes actually, where you know that if you kill Wraith King, you're just going to take the game. They get total map control now. They're going to spend their money, regroup. Roshan will spawn fast as well. They're going to get it in 15 seconds.
Oh boy, and a double damage that just got bottled up by Koifa too. Yeah, that's going to add in a little extra juice to the Alliance tank.
Yep, the bounty runes are still available bottom as well. Somebody's got to check the pit, though. Roach is coming up in a second. They're not going to know. But it doesn't matter if they can hunt here. Invis DD on the Storm. Here he goes.
Yep, he's hunting. Where's the Observer? Where's the Sentry? Just gets planted down. Blink, Burrow Strike forward. The Ice Blast will connect. Koif is gone. 100 seconds down. The Soul Binder's there, and now Boxy will arrive. The buyback is there. He's TPing out to the Shrine. So the Storm will be there in a jiffy, right over the top of Lil. Ghosted won't be able to protect him for that long. Kuman, his BKB has already worn off, allowing Koifa the never-ending stun lock control to do his work. Mickey will help out with a Storm Hammer, pin the Sand King against the corner. And that's a triple kill for Meke, and they can just go mid and end this right now.
Yeah, and bottom lane is pushing forward, so they want to even back away. But yeah, you're right. I just tier force, mate.
Yep.
Oh, thinking about it, Alliance.
Yeah,
They've been here before. They want to make sure.
Make sure you end this. TA buys back. SK buys back. What are you going to do, Alliance? Rolling Boulder being used to back up, so they do not want this fight. Roshan is alive, and he is the bigger target.
Yep, and they're just so lucky that it was the fast spawn, of course. It being available means that they will not be punished whatsoever for
Winstrike's coming.
buyback.
They're going to smoke and go themselves, but Dire scan. They get a positive ping.
Hey, we're gonna
And look at him back off.
This is cool, though. We're going to have at least one more big fight for the game here. Neither side with a definitive advantage. If one core goes down, the Storm of the Wraith King, even in TA, he bought back 2, actually. So Alliance obviously with an easier time here, but Winstrike still have an ability to take this next fight. Remember, Ag's on the Mars as well. When his ult's up, he'll be able to
Look for the
review
target.
1.4.
Blink, Burrow Strike, not the one they want. Sven, as well as Boxy. Ice Blast going to fly a little bit too far over the top. The pulp back. They at least have a follow-up stun, but no, SK's dead for 2 minutes, and Tiger wants to keep going. A double silence. Koifa's got a decent amount of mana, but doesn't want to go for a deeper jump. It's still too risky.
You're confident if you're Alliance. You don't want to let the Storm go down. That's all you have to ensure. You use the ulti on Boxy, just walk into the pit, get the Aegis for Koifa, then this game becomes much easier for you to play. And Winstrike, this is their shot. Even though it's 4-on-5, you can't let Storm get Aegis.
They're ready for it. Vortex lets them see inside to the pit. Ice Blast is still on cooldown. God Strength can be committed. Meke now silent. He's going to jump in. Remember, he's got that second life. He wants it. The push back with the skewer. Already Lil just gets pinned up against the tree. Kuman needs more help. And no fear. With him down with no Ice Blast, they don't really have enough to fight. Even with the Wraithfire Blast popping out, they will kill him a second time. Silent will fall, and GG is called. A triple kill for Koifa to end the game. We asked him to have a huge influence, and my God, did he rip apart the back line.
And props to Insania recognizing what he has to do around the pit to ensure his team wins the fight. Immediately force staffing Mike away. If that Ice Blast lands, perhaps that fight goes the way of Winstrike. It is a 4-on-5, but still just good way to, you know, make the high or the low risk plays. Alliance, they always seem to out team fight the enemies, but then they make that critical error and get punished for it, as to their fans' dismay. But composed, you can see they're obviously a bit happy, but not excited yet. It's just game one.
No, it's just like it's game one. We've seen this before already today. Game one looked pretty damn good for Alliance. There's definitely a couple of hiccups. Something that I know this team is. I think they talked about it a lot during Birmingham. It's like, you know, everything's not exactly right. Yes, they were using a stand-in then. Koifa is now back in the squad, and his performance it felt a bit bumpy at the start. But once he started getting a couple of items, like things just really flowed a lot better.
Yeah, I think it's one of those scenarios where I can't find fault in his play. Perhaps it's just the way the game developed. It's just that you always don't like to see Storms in the 5th, 6th net worth position, but he was active. He made moves for his team, so it's kind of just dependent on how you feel the hero should be played. Overall, I think Alliance recognized how they needed to win the games, or the fights rather. You can see them look to extend it. Boxy, I thought, played very well, consistently making himself the target. That's your job. You are the tank.
And he was such
be the tank.
He was such a hard to hit tank as well. Like we saw that bottom fight to try and chase him took I think it was a good minute.
Yep. And I looked back to that one fight where we saw the initiation on the support duo of Lil and No Fear on the low ground. That's a fight that I think Alliance they're walking into a booby trap. But because the supports are out of position, it doesn't go nearly as bad as it could for Alliance. Had they perhaps made the mistake of initiating on the wrong target, then they're the ones that get wiped. If Koifa was at a point where he catches a stun, he's just dead. But instead, they're able to freely take out the support duo, and it's kept things even longer, which definitely benefited the Alliance.
And it benefits the viewers. That actually was a very entertaining game. We've got another one coming up in just a bit.
In esports, we are still at the beginning, and giving context to data was super complex. Technology and stats and insights can really help doing that.